Alright, so here we go. Let's go over there for a minute. We're using the regular camera right now, so you're not going to be able to look around. Oh, how boring. We don't need you shining into the glaring window either. Okay, so meanwhile, here's what we got. We have two different size coax. Now they all take the same connector, which is called the PL259. The PL259 has a large opening in the back, so that'll carry your normal RG8, your heavy coax. But when you got to start going to the smaller coax, you need what they call a reducer. Now, this is called a 175 reducer. This is made for the thinner of the two. And then there's a 176 reducer, which has got a bigger opening, which is made for the heavier of the two. So it's important that if you're doing this, you know what reducer you're going to need, because the reducer is part of your grounding as well, so you want to make sure it's a good tight fit, because if it isn't, you're going to have a poor ground and you're going to end up with a bad SWR. Now, for those of you who are involved with this and know it, I don't want to hear any bullshit because I'm not using technical terms. If you can't follow the easy way, well then, get a life. There was a guy looking at one of my videos, Ed something or other, something like that. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember. And it was an older video when I was doing some PL259 work, and I was doing a little work on something else as well. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure when you're doing this is that you put the sleeve on first. So you unscrew the sleeve from the connector. And let's get the sleeve over and make sure we're getting it over right. We want to make sure the threads or the gnarly side is going to be facing forward, because you want to be able to put it back on where you took it off. Then you have to determine, once you've decided what reducer you need, how you want to do it. There's two ways of doing this. Both will work. The right way and the right way. The right way is you put the reducer on, you fold the shield over it, and then when you throw on this has little holes in it. I don't know if you're seeing them. And then the shield will be seen. And then you solder the shield to that. Now, if I was putting this outside, or where it was going to be straining a lot, some pull on it and things like that, well, then I would probably do it that way. But seeing that I'm inside, I'm going to cheat. And it works, so it's not a big deal. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. And, and this is where the guy started yakking. Oh, I could tell you're a real butcher. Yeah, get a life. All this kind of stuff. A typical troll. And then I went to his channel. I wanted to see a little bit more about him, because sometimes people just haven't got a way of saying things. Now, what I did was I slid the reducer over the shield and the casing. So it made it tight, and it's giving me a decent ground. But anyway, he was just downright insulting. So anyway, I go to his channel. I wanted to see who the hell this guy is, and I don't get too involved with them. They got to do what they got to do. If it makes them happy to down somebody else, well, good for you. That's all I can say. Now, this, where that thread is on the bottom, will now go in here, the tip coming through here. Now, you want to tin this before you put this together. because it'll make it easier for the solder to flow. And that's what we're going to do there, see? That screws onto the reducer. Now the wire fits and everything is fine. Now again, the other way would be the shield that I folded back under the reducer would normally go over the reducer, which means I'd see it in its holes and I'd be able to solder it. But seeing that I'm out here and I'm not going to have a solder iron that's going to get hot enough to do that, I'm going to be just doing it this way. So I'm going to leave that one like that for now. So and there's the other end, and once I'm done, everything screws together. Because I got to tin that wire, and I don't have my solder iron ready for that. So now we're going to go to the other one. So again, I'm going to unscrew this. So I go to this other channel, and he's got one sub, and he's been on for about a year. All right, well that can happen too. You know, sometimes you're just not there, but you're not going to get popular by trying to be a smartass, you know, or condemning, you know, or that's all you're on for. Well then, fine. You know, again, everybody has their own thing. So now this coax is the heavier one. This is double shielded. This is for the HF side. This is going to be for the not for the 2-meter 440, but for the HF. And this one's going to be a little bit harder to get off. There we go. Now this has a double shield. It has the shield and then it has a foil, which is actually good. You know, that's what you want. Double shield is always nice to have. Alright, so meanwhile, you know, I kind of ignored him. I answered him. I forgot what I answered him. It wasn't nothing cocky or anything like that. And, yeah, I'm sorry that you look at things that way. You know, everybody's a butcher in their own way. Yada, 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 yada. Enjoy the day and so on. Well, apparently, you know, this was an invitation to him to start getting cocky, you know. Yeah, basically he's trying to get under my skin. You know how trolls are. And I don't really run into a lot of trolls, to be honest with you. I don't know. I haven't really had a whole lot of experience with them, but, you know, I treat them with kindness anyway, and if they don't learn, then I just block them. You know, normally I wouldn't, but why should other people have to deal with, you know, on my channel, deal with that bullshit from this clown? So, apparently the kindness didn't work with this guy, because that was just an invitation to come back more. So he came back more, again slamming the connector, and I'm still a butcher, and I shouldn't be on YouTube, and you know, that kind of stuff. And so at that point I said, you know, okay, this guy wants to have fun, so let's have some fun. So I got back to him, and I'm going to paraphrase a lot of it, but a lot of it was, gee, I'll tell you, your parents must be proud of you, the way they brought you up, you know. And I got into that part of it, you know, with your parents, you know, and not everybody sees everything the same way, and your parents did a fine job with you, I see, you know, and stuff like that, and, you know, they must be proud of you. And does he have any other siblings, or was he a lonely child, or did he eat them, you know? You know, and then back to the parents thing, you know, I figured I'm going to get under his skin one way or another. Well, anyway, after that, I didn't hear from him anymore. So, apparently, I either touched a sore spot, or he's thinking of a good one. Who the hell knows? You know, he's probably sitting home trying to figure out of a good comeback, or how he can try to bash some more, so he's probably writing this all down someplace and making memos. Who the hell knows anymore? But at that point, yeah, sometimes you gotta find the right reducer, the 176, because this is heavier. Sometimes, even with normal, if there's such a person, stop picking up the wrong reducer. They'll get on there, and because they do know, and either they want to prove that they know, which I don't mind, it doesn't bother me. Like I say, everybody has a right to their opinion. That's what the country's all about, and I'm not going to condemn them for that. You know, and well, you didn't use the right term here, you didn't use the right term there. Well, that's because most of these guys just know, and they're not. I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but I'm an instructor. You know, and if you teach one thing, you can teach a lot. And you got to know how to get your point across to people that don't know anything. You know, and not that a lot of you don't know anything, but you know what I mean. So you try to relate to something that they may know. If I'm trying to teach you something about something and I'm talking tech terms that you don't understand, what am I teaching you? You know, and that's what a lot of these guys fail to understand, because they just haven't got that ability to understand that, because they're just so busy understanding what they know, which there's nothing wrong with that. So, all right, so anyway, that's where we're at. Now I'm going to tin this before I go any further, so I'm going to shut you guys down for a few minutes.